Hello, beautiful people. I know some of you have been waiting patiently for me to start this live. You came over from Instagram. I had to take care of some things before I got here, but I am here now. My braids look crazy. Anyway, yep, this is what I'm here for. Talk about my hair. Um, so thank you guys for being patient. While I let me see if I can take this off to get more light. But thank y'all for being patient. But after, I think the last time I was on here was right after my second round of chemo. I go for my fourth round of chemo tomorrow, which will be um, my last big one, and then I'll continue on until August of next year um, with Herceptin. But anyway, I came on here to do this video because I really want to make a difference for those, especially those on the breast cancer journey and who has to go through chemo. As you guys can see, I have all of my hair still. But and I just want to share like the regimen that I use in order to keep my hair. First thing the doctors told me when they told me that I needed chemo was that I would lose all of my hair. It was the first thing. And they were like, we can try scalp cooling, which I'm going to tell you guys about. Specifically, I use Dignicap, but they were like, we can try that. Um, and that could potentially save at least 50% of your hair. But the biggest reason why I made the decision to do the scalp cooling in the Dignicap is because a lot of people suffer from, yes, sunflowers. Oh, yes, yes, yes. There goes some up there. They're not real, but they're there. But some people develop alopecia after chemo, and their hair don't grow back, or it'll grow back like very, very thin. So to be completely honest with you, I didn't want to lose my hair, but I wasn't terrified of losing my hair. The biggest piece was I'm sitting here pulling out strands now, but the biggest piece was afterwards I wanted to be able to still have my healthy hair. So that's the reason why I decided to do Dignicap. Now, a couple of things. I want to focus primarily on the regimen because I don't have a lot of time. I do need to get to bed so that I can get up early and get ready and stuff like that. But let me just share my routine, right? And this is specifically for those, especially for those with African American or biracial hair. One of the things my doctor said to me when I told her that I was interested in doing Dignicap is I asked her, about the results that she's seen. And she was like, well, I've seen some people lose, a significant amount of hair, but it grows back quicker when you do the Dignicap. And she was like, and I've seen some patients who didn't lose any hair. So I was like, perfect. That's the kind of patient that I wanted to be. So I set the intention of like that I would come out of this like with hair and with healthy hair, my hair looking good. So as you can see, I go for my fourth round tomorrow. But as you can see, like I'm gonna share it with you guys. I kept my hair, how much I lost like through the process or whatever. But I'm satisfied. I love my hair. My hair is still thick. My hair is still full. It's still healthy. So I just want to share a couple of tips. The first thing first, my hair, I have biracial hair, so my hair is thick and curly. Um, and because of that, the whole idea with the scalp cooling is for the to freeze the scalp. When my hair is wet, it gets thicker. So the thicker my hair gets, it my hair is the machine or whatever, the cap is unable to get to my scalp. So I got my hair straightened before I actually started chemo. And when I went in to get it done that morning, my mom braided my hair. And I'm glad that she did. She was very adamant about braiding my hair, same style, everything. At that time, my hair was shorter, but it has grown. As you can see, like these braids in the front, all of these up here, they were about like right here. And now they're down here. So my hair continued to grow like through this process. And she used, so my hair was straight. I went to a professional, got my hair straightened like a week before, enjoyed the last of my, what I thought was going to be my healthy hair, but my hair has been healthy and looking good throughout this process. And then my mom braided it the morning of, and she used this gel, which is a vegan gel, no sulfate, no parabens, anything like that. And she parted my hair in these squares and used the gel and then braided it down. So when I went in, my hair was still a little bit wet from the gel, not water, but from the gel, and it kept my hair together. Then when I got there, and it was time for me to put on the Dignicap, I used this shea raw sugar conditioner, and they put this on my scalp, um, and like the top parts of my hair, the roots of my hair, to make sure that the cooling cap didn't stick to my head. Like it was something that they use as a barrier to get off my head. So anyway, that's what they use, and it make it easier to remove the cap at the end of the treatment. So that's that part. They put the cap on. Do I want to get in? I don't want to get into the technical part. I'll get into the technical part in another video because I'm tired, but I really just want to share. Nope, I'm gonna get into it now. So anyway, they put the cap on while I was doing my pre-meds. And then after my pre-meds, that's when they started the Taxil, I think it is. Taxotere. That's when they started the Taxotere. The Taxotere is what make your hair fall out. And then the carboplatin came after that, which is also what it causes hair loss or whatever, especially those two combined. But they said the main one was the Taxotere. So they cooled my scalp before they started the medication while they were doing pre-meds. Then once my scalp was pretty cool or whatever on the machine for I think it was about 30 minutes, maybe an hour, that's when they then started the medication. And then afterwards they do the two, and then I have a cool down for 2 hours. I have to sit with the cap on for 2 hours or whatever. Anywho, the main thing that I wanted to focus on is what I did to care for my hair. So my mom braided my hair the morning of, used this gel. Then we also used this conditioner. Ouch. While I just hit my port by mistake. But while I got the treatment, afterwards, I did not touch my hair. I did have a cooling cap at home, like that I keep in the freezer, and I used that, I think, just twice a day after chemo, because it's still in your system, so you still want to create that effect. And I think I just used it for 15 minutes. But primarily, the reason why I didn't do it longer is because I was sleepy, I was tired, and nauseous. It was just a lot. It's a lot to keep up with, like when you go through chemo. So I did that. What else did I do? The first and second round, in between, I used oil on my scalp. On my hair. I didn't after the third round. That's because I ended up in the hospital, and like I was more so focused on getting back healthy as opposed to doing the things like keeping lotion on your hands and keeping oil in your hair and so on and so forth. Which was another thing. Now, let me just say this much. After the first round, I got my hair, because they put the conditioner on. Typically, they say go home, wash the conditioner out. I did not. I just left it. I'm not touching my hair. I didn't feel like it, and yeah, I just left it. The parts that was really caked up, I just took some water and wet it like that. And that was my part of, rinsing it off. That was the first time. And let me see. And then I went, I think it was like 2 weeks afterwards. Let me think. I got it August 31st. Yeah, I didn't touch my hair again. Maybe 2 weeks afterwards. Yeah, because then I had to prepare for chemo like the following week. Then the second time around, after my second dose, I think it was around about the same thing. Yeah. No. It was actually a week and 3 days after my second round. And this time I went to a beautician as opposed to going to my mom because she wasn't feeling well. And I'm going to share with you guys like the hair loss and the process and so on and so forth. The third time, I didn't touch my hair again until yesterday. And I got my hair braided, which is right before my fourth round. Now, I didn't have intentions on waiting this long. I was up in the air about should I wait longer, but this is the kicker, right? I lost the most hair after the third round of chemo, which primarily a lot of people say they have major shedding between the 14th and 22nd day of the first round of chemo. Mine was minimal. I felt like I lost less hair. Like I literally lost like strands, and that was it. So the first time, after the first time, and then after the second time, when I went to the beautician, this is what I lost. Like this hair, this amount, and this. Now, the reason why this is separate is because all of this came from one braid. And I'll show you where that came out. Is here. You see all of that like it's gone? That's where that hair came from. And over here, it's fine. I got my full hair. And I still have baby hair and stuff like that. But that's where all of this came from, just that one braid. But together, this is what I lost. Now, the first time, like I said, it was just a couple of strands. It wasn't a lot. Now, the second time, that was that, and I went to the beautician. Now, another thing that I recognized, I was very adamant about it not being too tight or whatever. So, the beautician, made it looser per my request, and I shouldn't have did that. I was just afraid of her like pulling it and causing tension and causing my hair out to come out. Now, the reason why I say I shouldn't have did that is because not only was it already loose, but I waited also a significant amount of time where, and I'm not saying do braids tight or anything like that because mine are still not tight. If you can see, it's still not really tight, but this is tighter than what the beautician did. This is from my mom. She did it. Don't pull it. Don't cause a lot of tension, but you do want it to be tight enough and not loose. Now, I also had a significant amount of new growth because I waited in between of getting my hair washed and braided. And because of that, some of my hair got matted. So it's matted because some came out, and not only that, but it then got tangled with the new growth or whatever. So like here, it's hard to see, but this, luckily my mom is very patient, so she was able to braid the matted part into the rest of the hair, and it's still loose. You see, it's still loose there or whatever, but it was done that way to try to save it, like not save like the matted piece, of course, but to try to still keep my hair styled until I finish and can resume taking care of my hair. So I hope that makes sense. Now let me show you guys the amount of hair that I lost yesterday. And I wholeheartedly believe that I lost this much because one, um, several reasons. But the first one, the braids were looser. So I had more new growth, which it didn't keep my hair together, and some of it was matted with the new growth and by it being loose. That was one thing. Two, also I did not do my part in making sure, excuse me guys, I got the fan blowing on me. But I did not do my part with making sure that I did got my hair done in a decent amount of time. Typically, like I would recommend um, a week or two, maybe like 10 days after the first treatment. 10 days after your treatment is what I would recommend, washing the hair and styling the hair. Now, this is the amount of hair that I lost yesterday, which whew, it was a little bit nerve wracking, like not pulling it all out, but as it was coming out, which is a significant amount. But not horrible, because you can see my hair is still thick, my hair is still there. I don't have any other bald spots outside of that one that came, and it's not completely bald either, but it's thin right there where it came out around the edge, after the second treatment with the braid. Now let me also say, with this, what caused this to come out, I think it was already like a tender spot, and maybe the cooling cap really didn't get to that area, but that significant part did not come out until the braid was tight. It was tight, like I could feel it pulling my hair. So I went back and I asked my mom to rebraid it, and when my mom went back to rebraid it, she kind of like started and stopped, started and stopped, started and took it apart, started and took it apart. And by the third time, I was like, forget it, let me just do it. And I just braided the braid. And when I braided it, like, that was the amount of hair that came out. But I think it was more so, like tension with that encouraged it to come out. Now, let me share the process that we use when washing and doing the hair. Do I have a shampoo? I think I have a shampoo. Yes. So we wash my hair very gently with this shampoo, which is Function of Beauty. It's a vegan shampoo. No parabens, no sulfate. Now, the first time, what we actually did was use like this little spray bottle. Not spray bottle, but it was like a little container, like with a nozzle on the end. And we just put it, like on my roots, because that was the main point. I just needed a clean scalp before I did my next treatment. So we squeeze that on there using the nozzle with water, and then we use the nozzle from the kitchen sink on a light pressure to rinse it out. And then same thing, well, not same thing, the conditioner, we gently applied it with our fingers, all over the scalp, the roots of the hair, and also the hair itself. And with the shampoo, I did put some, but not a whole bunch, like on the edges of my hair. I tried to focus primarily on the scalp, because that's the part that needs to be clean for treatment. And then we use the shower head to, not the shower head, the sink um, nozzle, to rinse the conditioner out gently and on a cooler temperature, not freezing cold. You can if you want to, but not freezing cold. Another thing, and then we just towel did it like that to dry or whatever. I squeezed the ends to get a lot of the water out, and then braid by braid, section by section, they unbraided it, and then used the gel to braid it back up. And I think that was another thing too. So the beautician that I went to the second time, she didn't use a lot of gel when she braided my hair, but my mom does, and my mom did. So my mom did my hair yesterday. But the reason why that's important is because when they spray the water on the hair, before the Dignicap. It's not a whole bunch that they spray, but just a little bit. It keeps it thin, and I also think that it helps, like it keeps my hair together, if that makes sense. As opposed if there was nothing in it, the gel getting wet actually activates it to keep it together, as opposed to allowing it to spread. What else is it? Another thing with the Dignicap, I put mine all the way up to 10. I know a lot of people complain, and some women cry and they say, even 8 is too much. 8 is the recommended, so they go down notches. But for me, I went to the max. The reason being is because what it actually feels like to me is me going outside with wet hair in the wintertime. So it wasn't as painful, thank God, as what some of the women described, because I'm kind of used to that freezing feeling. Especially, I had short hair and I would wear gel and go outside, and it would freeze my, scalp or whatever. My hair would be really, really cold. So, anyway, yeah, we did that. I put it on 10. Um, Sometimes it causes like depending on how the cap is situated, it causes like my ear to freeze. So one of the times I did, after a while, ask them if they could bring it down to 9, but to me it was very manageable. Another thing that I did is, when it was time for me to do the scalp cooling, I put on a big thick onesie to keep me warm. They also brought in a lot of heated blankets, and then I also took in my own blanket as well to keep me like a thick and furry blanket. I also put on big footy. No, I didn't put on big footies because I was doing the ice packs on my hands and my feet. So that was another thing that made me cold. I had my head, my hands, and my feet, um, while they were going through the actual drugs. But after I did the Taxotere, I think it's Taxotere or either Taxel, I can't remember, something that started with a T. After they did that and the carboplatin, then I removed the gloves from my hands and my feet. But I did have to keep it on my head. I did have to continue on with the scalp freezing. So that's that part. I hope this all helped. Um, and I think I covered everything. If you guys have questions about the Dignicap, you can drop them in the comments below. I'll come back and I'll answer, and I'll try to be as much help as I can. I thank God that, there was a lot of challenges throughout this process, but being able to keep my hair and to keep healthy hair and to look good while doing it, that has definitely been a blessing. I get so many compliments like on my hair. And a lot of people, really like braids, but this has lasted. So I've had braids and I've worn the same style since August 31st, 2023. It is now November 1st, 2023. And I'm still going strong, and I feel like they still look good, and I still have my hair, and I'm so grateful, so grateful. Another thing that I forgot to mention is the type of oil that I use on my hair is what I used prior to all of this, which is Do Grow. It's a stimulating growth oil. So I use that on my hair as well. I typically use that after chemo whenever I remember to. So in between, just keeping my hair nice and healthy and moisturized and stuff like that, which I'll make sure that I do this round. I didn't last round. Last round, I really didn't do much to manage my hair because I was so focused on trying to get myself back healthy, because I did end up in the hospital, and fighting off some other things. So anyway, I hope that this helps. Again, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them below. But these are the products that I use. When I feel up to it, I'll come back and put it in the description, as well as emphasis on the Dignicap. But this is the conditioner that I use, and this is the shampoo. And then I will also put together some videos because I did record like the journey. Um, and again, same thing, gentle wash, very light touching. I have not put a comb to my head since August 31st, which was prior to chemo. I haven't brushed it, I haven't put a comb to it, anything. These braids have been so easy to manage. Now, another thing that I do, I use the flexi rods because my braids were coming apart at the end, and you can see some of them are straight. That's because I slept on it. But I use the flexi rods, and I put gel on the ends of my hair, and I just wrap it around the flexi rod, which is like a straw, looks like a rubber straw, and that, you know, that's my style. It gives me some curl. These don't have a lot of them. I did it yesterday, and then I didn't leave it on there long. Or I did it today. Did I do it today? I did it this morning, and I didn't leave it on there long. And then I slept on my head like twice already. But I am. This is another thing too. So when they braid the hair, like the parts that come out, like it's getting stuck. So, and I try not to pull it, even though I'm sitting here pulling it now, because this is tied into the braid, and that's probably what causes it to get matted too. But I'm gonna get some scissors and cut that off tomorrow. I'm gonna go to bed for now. But anywho, this is, I need to leave it alone, but these two are stuck together. Forget it. I'll take care of that tomorrow. But this is what I do. This is how I've maintained my hair going through chemo. And I hope that this really helps someone. You know, I just think like sometimes I feel like cancer is like a bully. That's how I visualize it. It's like a bully. Like everything just changes. And I think that it's so important to be able to still maintain some sense of normalcy and some sense of feel good. So that's why I took the time to do my research, and that's why I'm passing this on, to be able to help others and to be a blessing to them, you know, because it was hard. I looked everywhere, high and low, like for information. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I hope that this can be a guiding post for some. Um, and then another thing with the Dignicap, depending on where you go, it can become very expensive, especially depending on how many sessions you need. I believe it was Taxel, like they recommended 12 sessions for me. And the Dignicap ranges anywhere from $300 to $440 per session. So 12 times $300 to $400, you know, on average you knocking on like $5,000. But one of the things that I wanted to share, I went through a quote unquote like harsher regimen, and I did 4, and it was supposed to be about $300 per session, which would have been about $1,200. But luckily, there are grants that are available, and that can take care of some of that price for those who want to keep their hair but can't really afford it. So and who want to use Dignicap but can't really afford it. So make sure you do your research. You could do like Dignicap grants, scalp cooling grants. There is one that's Hair to Stay, and I think it's HAIR, the number 2, and then STAY, and they provide some, and you can apply for multiple grants to cover all of the cost of it. Some things I am hearing that some insurance companies are now reimbursing for the scalp cooling. So that's something else that you can do. Another thing, I did not put any type of scarves, bonnets, hats, None of that. I wore a hat for like 5 minutes and then I took it off because I'm like, I don't want anything pulling or tugging on my hair. I didn't let anybody touch my hair. My partner will rub it like occasionally, like lightly, but he knew, what I was up against and what I was worried about. So he was very gentle with it. And I think that's it. So if you guys have any other questions, I tried to cover everything in this video, everywhere from the technical part, the cost, grants, care, upkeep, maintenance. Another huge one that I did not emphasize is visualize you keeping your hair. Like, that was one of the things. My mom was really nervous the first time she went to do my hair, and I asked her, like, Mom, I need you to believe in me. If you're gonna put your hands in my hair, I need us to be on the same accord. I was visualizing walking away from getting my hair done and her and us both saying, wow, I ain't losing no hair. Like, wow, I still got my head full of hair. And I leaned into it with that energy before I went in, and I just asked her to agree with it, with me, because she was preparing for, okay, if you start losing your hair, I'm gonna make sure we're not in. Sorry, I keep rubbing my nose, but that's because this fan is on me, and it's irritating me. But she was saying to me, like, I'm gonna sit where you're not by the mirror, and so you won't see it if your hair come out. And I'm like, Mom, I'm aware of the possibility of it coming out, but I'm also setting the intention that it's going to be very minimal. And it was very minimal. My mom lose more hair than what I lost on a day-to-day basis because of regular shedding, and mine was just a couple of strands, literally a couple of strands. And then the second time I went and I got it, I was nervous, especially because somebody different was doing my hair, and because of that nervousness, I lost that, which still wasn't bad because of some people with braids like lose more hair than what I lost. The third time, I was nervous as well. I was more nervous than it all, and that's when I lost the most hair. Now, this last time, I'm going into it with the intention, I'm taking care of my hair. This is my last round. This is the easiest. And, I'm thinking about hairstyles that I want when I go back to normal, how to manage my hair. I will wear my braids for a while, at least 2 weeks, and I might get it done again, and rebraid it, because I hear that you can still lose your hair even after chemo. So I might not do my hair again and start putting heat or anything like that to my hair. I might not even take these braids down until mid-December. And it's easier to manage, and they don't look bad at all. I think they actually look good. So I think that's my plan of action, and making sure that I keep it oiled and moisturized, um, and so on and so forth. Let's see, is there anything else that I wanted to say? Yeah, just believe, visualize yourself walking away. Like, what's your intention? How much hair do you want to lose? And set that. And make sure you lean into it and feel it and practice it as if it's already done. Again, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll come back and answer them. You can also follow me on Instagram at Sherelle E. Thomas. And make sure, my nose is itching. If you have any questions, you can submit them there, in my DMs, and I will do my best to answer. But okay, now it's time for me to go to sleep. It's super duper late. I gotta get up super early so that I can tackle this last round of this Taxotere and carboplatin. I think that's what I get. But okay, beautiful people, I am signing off. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I know this was longer than I anticipated, so I'm about to be knocked out. Good night, beautiful people. I hope this helps.